For decades, Doctor Who fans have faced the unfortunate reality that many of the show's earlier stories were lost due to the BBC's archival purging in the 1970s. But thanks to animation, we've been able to recover and experience many of these stories in a new way. Over the years, the quality of these animations has fluctuated, with some receiving widespread praise while others were met with disappointment. On the positive side, we've had solid efforts like the Macra Terror, which took creative liberties but delivered a polished, engaging presentation. The Faceless ones also did a great job of bringing a missing story back to life, staying true to the original aesthetic. However, there have been plenty of misses too, particularly with the later animations adopting a more simplified, sometimes downright stiff and lifeless art style. The evil of the Daleks animation, while serviceable, felt static compared to earlier efforts. And The Web of Fear Episode 3 was a complete disaster with its crude motion capture animation. The real issue is that the best of these animations, the Moonbase for example, showed what could be done when care was taken with the visuals. But now, the BBC seems content with churning them out in a way that feels cheaper and less faithful to the original stories. Adding to this, we've seen Doctor Who fans stepping up where the official animations have failed. YouTube is flooded with fan-made reconstructions, ranging from simple telesnap reconstructions to fully stylized 2D and 3D animations. Some are more faithful to the original look of the show than the BBC's own work, which just goes to show that the passion of fans often outshines corporate decision-making. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're looking at Doctor Who's animated missing stories, how they're being handled, and whether we're about to see a major shift in how they're produced. So, what's the news? Well, it looks like the BBC is planning to accelerate the release of these animations with the goal of animating multiple stories at once. Executive producer Paul Hembury recently stated that while nothing is officially confirmed, the aim is to get a faster release schedule, possibly even tying animations into the Doctor Who The Collection Blu-ray box sets. That means we could see multiple seasons finally completed in animated form, including the last few Troughton stories, The Wheel in Space, The Highlanders, and The Space Pirates. But of course there are some major issues. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the animation style. The most recent animations have suffered from being overly simplistic, with stiff character movement, awkward designs, and a general lack of atmosphere. The Celestial Toymaker animation did take a more stylized approach, which I can appreciate, but it still lacked the faithfulness that fans are looking for. The problem with this simplified approach is that it removes a lot of the charm and detail that made the original episodes work. The Moonbase animation remains one of the best because it stuck closely to the aesthetic of the era while enhancing what was lost. But now, it feels like we're getting a downgraded experience just to churn out more releases. And then we have the new colorization efforts, because the BBC wants all the stories in color, even those that exist. It's becoming clear that the BBC has a long-term plan for re-releasing these missing episodes in multiple formats. Black and white animations, colorized versions, and then possibly fully animated color versions of stories like Invasion and Moonbase later down the line. The stories that only had 1 or 2 episodes missing and already received the animation treatment. Speaking of which, we still don't have the Crusades yet. This means collectors will be faced with buying the same stories multiple times, with the collection Blu-rays potentially being released in both black and white and color formats. It's a blatant cash grab, but let's be honest, completionists, myself included, will probably still buy them just to have the definitive set. The question is, will they be worth it? If the animation style doesn't improve, we're going to be stuck with lifeless, uninspired versions of classic Doctor Who stories that deserved far better treatment. At the end of the day, I'm glad we're getting more lost episodes animated, but I just wish they were being handled with the care they deserve. Hopefully the BBC takes the time to refine the animation process rather than rushing out more low-quality adaptations just to fill in the gaps. And with colorized Doctor Who now becoming a trend, it's only a matter of time before we're buying the same stories all over again in multiple formats. Oh, wait, we already are. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.